side of me, which I was told by God. And then the second of all, the other thing was putting it in my path that I'm here to help others and that that's my purpose. So I left the pharmaceutical industry and I started to manage and work with my own body, creating a relationship with my own body. But if I had not gone to her and not opened myself up to receive this and done the steps that she had told me, because I also saw her as a mentor. It wasn't that she was just an energy healer. And I highly, if you have somebody that you work with or that you respect and make sure that you not only just do the energy healing part, but also the action steps, because that's the most important thing. And so I realized that as I did these steps, things started shifting for me, and I was able to heal my body from major gastrointestinal issues that were going on. I mean, I almost had my gallbladder taken out. And if I had not known what was really going on, that why my body was shutting down, and it was because of jealousy or criticism from my family, who would always criticize me, and students in school would criticize me for the way I looked and the way I was. And I don't believe I would be in this space where I am now. I think I would still be looking for answers, And so my job today is to help you break free from these interferences of the evil eye, which no one really talks about. And many of you may not agree with me and what I'm about to tell you. However, in my professional opinion, as a medical intuitive, one of the biggest reasons for anxiety, chronic illnesses, is not because of stress that everybody talks about or self-sabotage, but it's a glare or a stare from someone, a coworker, a family member, a sibling, an ex, a spouse, our own children, our own mother or father. Now, how many of you have experienced people staring at you for no reason and it made you feel uncomfortable? Just put a yes in the chat. It happens. It happens at the grocery store. It happens, while you're driving in the car, right? You see people just looking at you. And so stares carry low energy of judgment, jealousy, envy, criticism.
We're getting a lot of yeses here, Dipal.
I know, and it can make you sick.
Up.
Like everybody, you all agree that this is happening and it's disrupting your entire life. That's the definition of the evil eye. And everyone has more than one evil eye affecting you at any given time. And here's why I make the statement. And Darius, you mentioned this about your mom. As a baby, when you're born, everyone said you were cute.
Right.
And there were people jealous of how cute you were. As a child growing up, you maybe had extra weight on and someone criticized you. Then as you got older, you got married and now you're divorced, or maybe you're still with your partner, but you are getting criticized by them. Nothing you do is right anymore. And here you are holding on to these experiences, which I call the evil eye. This is why you're feeling stuck. And maybe your story is a little different, but you understand what I mean. There is jealousy, criticism, maybe even hatred, resentment. And I'd like to share something that actually happened to me that stopped me in my tracks right before the holidays, Darius.
Okay.
And it happened in my family, and I couldn't believe it. 3 different people in the same week. One day, my daughter, she leaves the house at a regular time, heading to school at 7:30 in the morning. She calls me 2 minutes later and she tells me, Mom, a deer hit me. And of course, it's deer season. So I think, well, nothing of it. 2 days later, my husband and I decide we're going to go to spend some time with our friends who live about 2 hours away. And as we're talking about it, at 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:15, we get a call from my older daughter who also lives in that town. And she says that she got into an accident. A tire, an 18-wheeler, went right under her car and the oil was leaking out. That day, we head over there to help her out. And as we're moving the car out of the parking garage that night, we're coming out and the gate that closes behind us close onto my husband's car.
Wow.
I knew exactly what was happening. 3 different people, all in the same family, same week, different places, different situations. It's not a curse. It's not karma. It was the evil eye. There was no shared cause, but the timing, the cluster of incidences.
Okay.
That's the part you don't ignore.
Okay.
And we tend to ignore some of these things, thinking, oh, maybe we deserve it. Maybe it's our karma. Maybe it's just life.
Yeah.
But
Bad
what
luck.
if it's the evil eye?
Okay.
And I've
Can
done 14,000 healings now in the last 10 years, and I know what an evil eye interference looks like.
Okay, I want to dive into that, but one question that's coming up in my mind is you said it's not a curse, it's an evil eye. And I'll be the first to admit, after doing what, 2,500 interviews over the last 16 years with some of the greatest energy healers around the world, I'm quite embarrassed, but I don't know the difference offhand between an evil eye and a curse. So you're gonna have to tell us all. But does anyone else not know the difference or want to know? Because I do not know the difference. I mean, I feel like it's kind of a cursey type thing. Let me know if you know the difference or you want to know. And then Deepal, what is the difference?
Yeah.
We should know.
Well, that's a great question, and people get it
Me
confused all
too.
the time. And I've helped clients with both. Well, and other things too, entities, hexes, spells, black magic. The evil eye and a curse both cause harm. One is almost like a part of the other. Okay, so the curse comes first and then the evil eye, but they differ in origin and intent. A curse is deliberate invocation of harm and misfortune upon someone. They are more complex. They involve rituals or spells aimed at casting specific outcomes for the other people. So they're very intentional. All right. The evil eye can be intentional or unintentional. And it's someone causing harm by staring or, giving a glare, a judgment, or a feeling on someone else that is of low vibration.
Oh,
What is really interesting is that curses have to be broken and
okay.
evil eye doesn't. As long as you have someone that knows what they're looking at and doing, then the evil eye can be cleared. It's really easy to clear it. I
Interesting.
remember, I got to tell you a story about a client, Sarah, who messaged me one day saying that it was urgent. And I get quite a bit of those messages, especially when it comes to this topic. And people feel afraid because they don't know what's going on. And if something feels very heavy and it feels like it's a immediate disruption in their life, as I was reading her message, she didn't sound like herself, number one. And something was terribly wrong. We set up an appointment immediately, and she's crying, telling me about her high blood pressure. She said her mother-in-law was causing some problems in her marriage and really constantly judging her. And she always felt more exposed every time she was near her, which exhausted her energy. All of a sudden, her kids stopped listening and they were acting up. They were doing things that were very disruptive, and she was so worried. And when we did the healing and I scanned her, I could see the evil eye interferences from not only this lifetime, but another lifetime that she had with her mother-in-law. And once I removed it, her husband, like, because this was impacting her relationship so deeply, her husband started to speak to her, like speak up to his mom, which he had never done. Her own energy, Sarah's, was 75% better. She didn't feel so drained, and she felt hope again. Sometimes when things happen in our lives, we lose hope, especially when it comes to our family. And when I changed her energy, her kids were starting to act normal again. Her entire life felt so much more clear. And what felt like a curse to her was actually the evil eye, because she kept referring to her, she's cursing me and she's, doing black magic. But it wasn't. It was actually the evil eye from another lifetime. And so I have cleared both an evil eye and a curse in sessions, but for her, for Sarah, it was just an evil eye. And so the
Interesting.
impact of that can be massive, and it can affect everybody in the family.
Can you share with me and us, Deepal, like as a medical intuitive, when you look at parts of the body or areas of the energy field where these things are showing up, what do you see? And then the second part of that is, where do you see them? Is there a place where, this kind of evil eye energy tends to congregate when you look at energy bodies and frequencies? So, what does it look like in the body, and where do they tend to show up?
Darius, there are two ways to see this.
Okay.
One, you could be the person sending out the evil eye, and we've all done that. We've judged others, we have criticized others, we have had envy and jealousy towards others. Like if somebody's driving a nice car, I'm like, oh my God, I want that car. But there's a part of us that can be jealous, that why don't we have that? And
Right.
that's unintentional, right? But it's still in the subconscious. The second way I see this is an evil eye being sent to you. So either you could be a person sending it out, you could be the person sending it to even yourself, or an evil eye being sent to you from someone else. Here's an example. I was
Okay.
just recently working with one of my clients, Jeff, and he had come to me before Christmas, and he never told me anything. He said he had generational hernia. Everybody in his family had it. Problems with investments and attracting wealth. And I just picked up on the evil eye. Today, when I spoke to him right before coming here, he reported back and he was telling me that he was always envious and jealous of his
Okay.
brother's homes that they had built, and every holiday he would have to go to one of his brother's home for a family gathering.
Hmm.
And as he pulled up to the home, he would always compare himself, and it was really bringing him down. And this year, when he went for the holidays, it was the first time in 10 years he didn't feel jealousy or envious, and he didn't even care. He noticed how his posture was more straight, and he was walking with confidence. Even today, I could see it in his eyes. I
Wow.
could see the openness,
Mm.
and he was ready to receive. He had stopped hiding himself. We are here to embody who we are, and sometimes we lose our identity in other people's successes. And when we clear the evil eye, we start to open up and receive who we are and our own abilities. Now, my abilities as a medical intuitive allow me to see the energies, whether it is you or someone else impacting you. And I'm really passionate about providing healings from the highest intentions. And all of my sessions are divinely guided, including all of my recordings, all the healing containers, and all of my sessions. I work with a team of guides, and they have always been with me from day one. And because I have all of my 8 intuitive senses open, it's really easy for me to connect with your body and talk to your body on a subconscious level. And your body talks right back to me, giving me the information that I need to understand where the evil eye is stuck. These
Okay.
interferences can be anywhere in your body. They could be stuck to an organ.
Hmm.
They could be stuck to a system of your body. They could be stuck in the energy field or the different energy systems. See, the timing of the evil eye interference, whether it's past lifetime, generational in womb times, or understanding a story experience, the person it's connected to, that's what I find. That's what I look for. But the information comes so quickly. So I can tell you exactly what I see in seconds. And then I guide your body to clearing it through what I call the quantum body awakening modality, where we dive deep into the subconscious of where these interferences are stuck. And I say interferences because usually I find more than one. And
Hmm.
my clients usually feel relief that they've been looking for immediately. And I really am excited because you're going to get to experience this in the process that we do later on, and really experience this as we're talking together. Maybe you're already feeling it. How many of you are already feeling the energies shifting for you as I'm sharing some of these experiences and things that we're talking about? Just put yes in the chat if you're actually feeling some shifts and changes already.
Can I ask, Deepa, and I know as people are writing in, you said something about these kind of being from other lifetimes. How often do you see things from other lifetimes kind of coming through and maybe affecting, you said you called it like a family hernia, and then you mentioned financial lack, scarcity this one gentleman was facing as well. Give us a little input on that. I guess those are two questions, but you really got me captivated now.
Yeah. So, so wait, the first question was,
Other lifetimes, kind of
yes,
things that affected a family line or maybe us in another life. How often do you see that?
yes. So how often I see it every single time
Okay.
because our lifetimes kind of merge together. There's no time and space, right? When it comes to the soul, this body. And so they kind of merge together, but I can separate them because I'm able to see exactly where it's coming from. And this gentleman did mention generational. And what he meant by that was his father, his ancestors, and then we took it out into other timelines. So once we spot one, I can spot the others. And it's really easy for me to do that.
Wow.
Here's the interesting thing. As we talk about different timelines and past lifetimes, is one thing that I saw recently was a client came to me about their pet. And I do work with pets for sure. Maybe my every other client is a pet, a dog, a cat, a horse. And what I saw was, see, pets respond to attention and environment. And many pets can carry the evil eye. So
Mm,
this client had come to me because his cat kept running away, kept getting very sick, not eating at times. It was like this cat was on this roller coaster and it would leave for days and it would leave my client worrying.
mm,
And he didn't know if the cat had died or something happened to him. One time the cat came back with a lot of bruises on her.
mm,
And so this client of mine had parasites cleared from the cat, had homeopathic remedies done for this cat, um, all kinds of entity clearing. He tried so many healings for his cat and nothing was helping. So he came to me as the last hope, hoping that the cat would get better. And once we cleared the evil eye, she came back home. She stayed home. She knew exactly where to come. She started eating again and she started getting better. He, of course, felt relieved, but she was taking on a lot of trauma of the other cats, like the collective trauma that you were talking about
Right,
earlier when we
right.
first started talking about this. Is there collective trauma lingering in our field? Is there a matrix that we are a part of?
Right.
Yes, we take on other people's fears. We take on their judgments and jealousy and criticism. And a lot of you here are healers. You are intuitives. You are very empathic. And you're highly sensitive to what's going on. And you want to help everybody. And one of the ways we do that is by taking on the collective energy without even knowing it. But that's from pets, from the people that we're close to, from people that we don't even know, because
Yeah.
our nature is made of that, of helping. So that's why I created this program of the evil eye to help you contain your own energy, separate it from everyone else, and really come back into your own identity. And then so that you can flourish from that, so you can live longer. Because if you keep going this way, your longevity starts to shrink. And that's what's happened to a lot of healers and a lot of people who are sensitive. And I hear stories all the time about this, Darius. And it's unfortunate, but we have to clear the energies that we cannot see. It's just as important as the
Yes.
things that are in front of us.
Yes. I agree with that completely. Deeple, question for you. You mentioned you see this in a lot of healers or even just people that are empathic or kind of more tuned in or plugged in. A lot of people here. What happens if we don't address this type of interference? Maybe we just think, oh, it's just bad luck, or it's just the way it is, or it's the way the world is, and we just allow it to continue kind of rolling forward. What do you see happen? And as a medical intuitive, is there something you see in the bodies, and then what do you see kind of in the outer world?
Yeah. Um, I'm sure many of you, and I was reading some of the chat that, maybe you bought a bracelet, a necklace, an amulet, a t-shirt that has the evil eye on it. And you're like, ooh, I am so protected.
It
It's going
made
to
it worse.
ward.
Actually, can I say something? Like I literally years ago went to some store in the hill country. It was really a pretty place, and they had these series of like three evil eyes. And I was like, I'm gonna put this behind me while I do the show because I never know if someone's like, upset at me or whatever, and they're gonna like send me an evil eye. And literally, it made things worse. I mean, I can tell you, I don't know. Maybe I did it wrong, or maybe it was just there was something wrong with that. But I took it away and I threw it away, and instantly, like, I had so much more creativity and like everything felt lighter. So I don't necessarily have much faith in a lot of those talisman type of things, at least from my experience. I don't know what you were going to say about that, but this is my story on that.
There's a lot of things involved in something like that, like when you purchase something and
Yeah.
having to clear the energy of that, because it may already have. And for you, what
Yes.
I see is that that shirt that you bought already took on a lot of people's evil eye
Exactly.
energies, and then you put it on, and then you had a side effect, you know? So when you took it off, you felt a lot better, right?
Wow.
So that can happen. I had a client who went through the same thing, so I completely get it. But you're thinking, okay, this will ward off the evil eye. Like that's what you were thinking, right? So you put it on. And yes, to some degree, it's true. Okay. There is some power over it. However, what I've experienced is that until you address the evil eye that's already there, it's going to keep playing a role in your life. So you have to get to what's already there. I could use, stones and all kinds of things and get it. But what about the root of where it started, right? So these
Yes,
things will
that's right.
keep,
The root.
yeah,
Yes,
they'll keep
that makes
playing a role
sense.
in your life until you get to the root of this, of where it started. You can wear all the jewelry in the world, use all the different techniques and tools, the shamanic ones, to ward off the evil eye. That's perfectly fine. But you might notice that you're still in the same place, or you're not moving as fast as you'd like to in certain parts of your life, whether it's your success, your health, your school. I've helped some kids who were impacted by the evil eye because there's a lot of bullying in school, there's cyberbullying, there's social media. All of that impacts how we perceive ourselves, how others perceive us, how much fear is in the collective. And no matter what you do on the outside, no matter how many stones you carry around or how much jewelry you wear to help protect you, we have to first clear the first layer.
Yes.
And then everything starts to open up because now you are back to your authentic self. Your identity is back. You're not fragmented because right now you're all over the place.
Right.
You're not feeling whole. Once you start to feel whole, that's when you can start wearing certain things, carrying stones around, using
Makes
other
sense.
things in your life to continue the beautiful frequency and the energy. And that's why I made some MP3s to help you each and every day. We have the beautiful 30-day container to help you and a family member because we want to help ourselves and others. We talked about that. So that's why I created that as well.
Well, this makes a lot of sense. You're saying we have to pull it out from the root rather than adding something on top, like some sort of
Exactly.
symbol or
We're just
ritual.
masking it, right?
We're just masking it. We want to get to the root, and we don't know how far back that root could go. We're going to be
Exactly.
talking with some folks right now. If we can, Deeple, maybe we could take some callers and give them an idea. Now, I don't want anyone to get into sort of the black pill sort of doom, like, oh my God, if there's something on me, what am I going to do? We're
Exactly.
going to actually give you some suggestions and ways to move forward. I mean, I've had this, and I kind of know when I don't really feel good or things feel really challenging, or maybe there's people in my life I got to say, hey, I don't necessarily want to see that person for a good bit because every time I do see them, something goes wrong and I'm wondering why. And then eventually you go, uh-huh, there might be something they're doing. So they are solutions and practical steps. But here's the thing, maybe to remember if something comes up today in the session, or you start questioning, like, okay, what's really going on? Just remember that this essence is not who you are, right? Unbind from that energy. Know that you are not that energy. And that is the first step. And we're going to actually be doing an unbinding activation to realize your power. Okay. So, no black pill, no like doom, guys and girls. If we find out something's going on, we're going to walk right into the first step. So, people, can we take some callers and
Yeah,
hopefully
I
nobody
would
has
love
anything
to.
and, or whatever. We're going to,
Yeah.
now I have
Can I
one.
say
Yeah,
something, Darius?
sure.
Lydia had said I had so many cords removed from my ancestors, and that's great, Lydia. You're definitely on the right track. Removing cords is very different from removing the evil eye. So remember that cords are threads of energy. It's an exchange of energy. The evil eye is more of, you know, a stare, a glare, jealousy. And our ancestors are not jealous of us. They're here to support us and help us. But if they carried an evil eye, can it be carried forward? Sure, it can.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Thank you for that clarification. We have Chanel with us who I'm so happy to see. Hi, Chanel. Good to see you.
Hey, Darius, so good to
Hey.
be here. Good to
You
be
look
here.
so familiar. I don't know. Maybe we've crossed paths.
Yeah, right. Well, you do know. You've been to my house in
Oh,
Austin, in
yes, I
Steiner.
have. Oh my gosh. Hey.
That's right. It's been a few years.
It's
So
been about 3, 4 years, right around COVID.
COVID.
So good to see you. Well, we're
Exactly.
not far away. We're like this is the closest anyone's been to where I host the show. So welcome.
Yes. So it's so cool. So thank you for hosting. I love what you do. So thank you. And Dipal, I'm also a Shah. Made my maiden name is a Shah. So yeah, a lot of connection already. And I I will answer or say whatever you wish or ask, but I don't want to just keep talking without you asking maybe or
What's going on in your life?
okay, so I'll give you a very quick snippet. I went through an 11-year cancer journey, and much like you, I was a clinician, a healthcare clinician, and then corporate healthcare. And then my journey took me to doing intuitive healing work. So
I
we
love
share
it.
similar space. But I'm ready to take it to a whole new level. And, I've been speaking at bigger events, doing more, but I just feel like there is something holding me back from visibility. And at one point in time, because I grew up, I mean, from an Indian culture, so evil eye was something I
Well, I
was
was just about to say.
familiar with. So my mom would, put a little black dot, and she was
Yeah,
always like, people are going to come after you. She would make
yeah,
me put a braid in my hair so I would look ugly. And I've
yep,
had to work through a lot of this stuff because she's like, I don't want you walking on the streets. People are going to blah, blah. And
yes,
so she lived in fear. I grew up in that fear.
yeah.
And then my husband, we get married, and he does the same thing. He's like, don't wear that because everyone else around you is so much bigger and you're so lean and don't wear. And so I just surrounded by this fear. So I've been working through this. And I'm like, I refuse to be afraid of an evil eye.
Of
Yet I
course.
continue to have people, so I'm not. Yet I continue to have people say to me, there's a lot of jealousy in your field. There's a lot. And I could see other people's, but sometimes it's hard to see our own. I'm like, no, they have nothing to be jealous of. Um, so I am feeling like I have so much more work in the world to do at such a grand scale. Um, and I don't know what it is. And I saw this today and I was like, I am clearing my schedule and I'm showing up and I don't know why, but there was some resonance and I needed to be here. So thank you for
Oh,
taking the question. Yeah. And if I cry, it's just because that's how like
no, I
deeply
love it.
impressed.
I love it. And I honor that. You are beautiful and you have hidden yourself for so long, not just due to culture, but society, and the fear. And this is a collective fear that has been impacting you. But here's the thing, you are meant to do the work that you are working through and working on, okay? And this is one of the patterns that really confuses a lot of people because when you are winning, when you are succeeding, when you have compliments, okay, people sometimes feel worse than they do better. And I can tell you that so many times people have said to me, I don't even let myself enjoy good things anymore,
Hmm.
right? Or let myself be seen and heard, but inside they want to be seen and heard. And that's you right now. And what's happening is that you're trying to feel safe, trying to honor your culture and family through the subconscious conditioning. But it's also this pattern of the evil eye. So there's two things coming together for you, and we need to heal that for you so that you can do the things that you want to do. You can move faster in the arena that you want to be and be seen and heard and not feel like you always have to hide and wear braids and black dots and whatever else, right? That we were programmed to think that we need to do, otherwise we are doomed. Okay? And that is the energy that I see. Does that resonate with you?
Absolutely. Yeah. Wanting to be seen, but afraid to be seen. So it's like this, but it's deeply subconscious because
Oh, it is.
deeply subconscious.
It is.
Wanting
And you know
it's
what?
a
Your ancestors did the same thing. Like they do, they wore the veils over their heads, and they would not allow others to see them outside the house. And because if they were seen, if they were heard, they didn't talk much either. They kept mute because of the visibility. And many of them were witches.
Yeah.
Okay. They were healers, but they hid themselves. And you're taking on that energy. So I really do hope that that we could work together, and I can help you through this.
So do you see any particular place or time where this is coming up for her, kind of as you look
Yeah, I
at
feel
her
it in the
energy field?
brain, in the crown chakra, and it's also
Okay.
going up into her hara line. Okay. And it's interfering with that because she's not able to create as much as she'd like or as fast as she'd like because the hara line is blocked.
Does that resonate, Chanel?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's so interesting because when you're in it yourself, it's a very complex, right? What we understand and
Yes.
what we can access on our own is it's so tricky. And I think that's where that humility comes in.
Yeah.
Of accepting and receiving from others, even though it's like, oh, this is what I do, so
Oh,
you think
yeah.
you don't need any, but it's not true.
Yeah.
And so I think opening to receive and allowing that help in so I can get out of my own way.
Yeah. Well, let's just do a little bit of clearing for everybody to help you get out of your
Oh,
own way. How
awesome.
about that?
That's awesome.
Awesome. Okay,
All
that's what
right.
I was going for. Absolutely. We want to help as many people as possible. Thank you, Dipal.
Thank you.
All right. Just breathe in and breathe out. And everywhere that you have always gotten in your own way, you've self-sabotaged, you feel like you're not good enough, you're not deserving. Let's clear that now. Let's clear where you feel like you're too much for others. Let's clear where you have the fear of taking on too much of others, that you can't handle other people's energies. Let's clear, cancel, delete where you don't have boundaries. Clear, cancel, delete where you have allowed people in and they have broken your trust. Trust is the biggest thing playing a role here. Clear, cancel, delete where you stop believing in yourself. Clear, cancel, delete. Where you stop being visible, where your ancestors stop being visible. Let's clear, cancel, delete. Where you stalled in your own creativity due to the ancestors and generational timelines and other timelines, other past lifetimes where you were not to be visible. Where society, culture, other people's energy impacted you, we clear, cancel, delete. We bring you back into your own body. It's safe to be here. It's safe to feel. It's safe to be. Safe to grow. Safe to thrive. Safe to be awarded versus punished. Let's clear that energy of punishment, guilt, shame, embarrassment. And we're going to infuse the frequency of love, believing, hope. Anchoring it into your chakras, your energy field, and your hara. And so it is. Take a nice deep breath. And notice how much more open that feels. Notice how much more open your heart feels. And now what I share with you, it's easily receivable because we're the same. We are all one energy.
Thank you. Dipal. Chanel, thank you for being here and connecting. This is so cool. So cool. Thank you. Wow. Well, we'll have to get together again soon. You guys are so gracious. And well, what we're gonna do is maybe take another caller. And I think we still have another process, right? The identity
Oh,
unbinding
yes.
activation. Oh God. Oh my gosh. It's like a double header. Thanks to Chanel, who absolutely is such a gift. This is amazing. And it doesn't really matter what level you're at. I mean, we all tend to have these things at some level. And Chanel herself is very established, and she just shared like there is this memory or this overlay from mom, from dad, from culture. So let's go to another caller, and we're just so transparent today. I love it because this is how we move forward. I'm gonna go to, let's see, I'm gonna go to none other than,
Darius, there's so
yeah,
many times that ego tries to stop us, you know,
right.
and I believe that if we um if we can get the ego out of the way by saying, no, you're not invited to this party, then it just makes it so much easier for us to be open to a lot of things that people who may know more about this, like myself, like I know about the evil eye, my knowledge is
You
different
do.
about it. I've
Hmm.
worked with it. There might be things I come to you for, or you come to me, and it's beautiful how that exchange works when you get the ego out of the way.
Absolutely. And I've got Daphne unmuted, and we're gonna grab Daphne here. Let me see if I can pin you, Daphne. Daphne, thank you for connecting with us. If you want to turn on your video, you're certainly welcome to, or not, and let us know what's going on.
Well, thank you, Dipal and Darius especially. I was just wondering, I have had an issue with my knees. I am trying to desperately avoid surgery. And just in the last, maybe 10 years, my knees have become like knock-kneed. I never even noticed it until somebody mentioned it to me. And I was just wondering if there is anything that was maybe causing this, or that Dipal can do something to alleviate the pain and the what is behind it.
Did your mom have the same problem?
No,
Anybody else in your family? I'm seeing a female, but
no,
it's
no,
coming through your mother's line.
nobody that I know of.
Okay. Did you
Nobody.
know your great grandmother and great great?
No, great grandmother. No, I didn't know her. She died a couple years before I was born.
Okay.
But
All right.
she didn't, my mother never mentioned anything like that about her.
Okay. Well, I'm just seeing a lot of female energy coming through, and
Mm,
it's more like suppressed female energy where the movement, where you try to move forward in your life and you were consistently stopped. Um, and is your left knee worse than your right knee?
It feels like that sometimes. Yeah.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. Wow.
Because I can feel the evil eye stuck right in there, right in the patella.
Wow.
Okay. And it's almost it is generational for sure. So that's why I asked about female energy down your mother's line, and the left knee, because it's a very suppressed masculine energy.
Hmm.
Um, and so that's what I'm seeing there. Does that resonate with you?
Well, I don't know what you mean by masculine energy in the knee.
Like not being allowed to use some of that masculine divine energy, always
Maybe.
being in the feminine. When the women in your family said something, they were shut down. When they wanted to do something, they weren't allowed to. They were allowed to do only the minimum, but that wasn't always, it was like this boundary. Like I see this circle, like they weren't allowed to get out of certain boundaries.
Huh. Well, maybe they
Okay.
were. Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah.
That's very possible.
And some of what I see, I mean, you may not even know that it's there. right? Some of the stories you may not know, but that's the story your knee is telling me right now. Now, can I help you with this? Of
Yeah.
course. We can
Oh.
definitely clear that evil eye interference up, clear through the generational patterns, and then clear from your mother's line, and help your knee structurally get better.
Oh,
Okay,
bless
because
you.
I understand your intention is to not have surgery,
Right.
right? So let's do a clearing of this and then see how you're doing. That's why I also, in the program, I offer a 15-minute after session where we connect, and that way I see how you're doing and see what's coming up.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I
Okay.
feel like it's really important to see how you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, and to make sure everything is going well, how your body's taking on the energy, how it's receiving it, and how it's healing.
Great. Great. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome, Daphne.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think, are we going to do something individual for her, or are we going to move into the group process and then check in with everyone who does that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay,
Let's do the group
so
process.
we're going to do the group, and I always like to say it's not a substitute for medical treatment, advice, or guidance. We want to let the body come back into alignment the best way that it can, and then take that and then see where you wind up and astound people in the world, right, as we begin to do that. And we're going to be doing this through an interesting process called the identity unbinding activation. Now, Deepa, I love this because I feel very much like it is so key, just the title, right? We want to unbind our identity from the thing that could be holding us back, the thing that could be in some way impacting us or shaping our destiny. And it's that intertwining that actually is, I think, the power of a lot of these energies. So we want to begin to uncouple and unbind. So take us through what we're going to do, and then I'd invite everyone, please don't listen while you're driving or operating heavy equipment. If you are on the live stream, I know we've got a good number of people that watch these live on Facebook or X or on Twitter, or, well, not Twitter, but YouTube. We're going to cut the streams. I don't want people driving. I'd rather y'all listen, and follow some of the precautions we have on our site. So I'm going to cut the stream. If you're on one of those platforms, just go to uwealthrevolution.com/Dipal, Dipal 30. And we're going to have the replay there posted, and then you can pick up right around this 55-minute mark, and then we're going to do that. So, Deeple, let's give everyone a taste of what we're going to do, and then we'll jump right into it.
Perfect. Thank